This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we have a great Power Pundit panel. As always, Mike Bosma is here. He's the managing shareholder of the Bosma Group. Joe Gill, the attorney, and Vito de la Cruz, lawyer and activist. I wanted to start out with you, Joe, first. The passing of state legislator Jack Vergils. Would you say a few words about him?
Sure. He was. I first met him in 1982, and he was the Speaker of the Assembly, I believe it was in 1983, and then he went on and became a state senator. Sam, of all of the legislators I've known in that period of time, I think I could count on one hand the really good tacticians. Nobody could move legislation through the legislature better than Jack Vergils. He was whip smart, had great political instincts. He was a good guy, fun to be around. He lost a re-election race to Sue Loudon back in 1988, I think it was, somewhere in there. Maybe it was a little later than that, but he was an asset to the state of Nevada. He's a PhD educator, longtime professor at UNLV, and he was a real contributor to the state of Nevada.
And he was also Speaker and Majority Leader.
That's right. Yeah, one of the few people. I think, if I can remember right, Keith Ashworth might have been somebody like that, but rare in Nevada legislative history. The state loses somebody important.
Well, thank you for that, and we send our best regards to the family. Changing topics, news breaking yesterday that Monty Miller, who's been part of Jim Gibbons' kitchen cabinet, one of his strongest supporters and closest friends, is holding a fundraiser for Brian Sandoval. What does that mean to you?
Well, what it means is that those people that are in his inner circle are, I think, just getting fed up with some, the press and just I would call it the personal antics and political style of Governor Gibbons, and I think that says loads as far as kind of Gibbons' reelectability.
Your thoughts on this, Peter?
I tend to agree. I think it's without on pains of sounding crude, it's people are abandoning ship. I'm not sure exactly I would put the other derogative term beside it, but people are actually abandoning ship, going to the person that they sincerely believe has the best shot of winning the governor's mansion in the next election cycle.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it an abandonment of friendship, but people like to bet on winners in politics, and I think that Monty Miller's support of Brian Sandoval tells a whole lot about the inner workings of the Gibbons campaign right now. If he's losing somebody like that, then we might see some other supporters avoiding helping him too.
Well, and Joe, and people I think want to be effective, and I think that's where people keep hitting the wall.
Yeah.
And they're working real hard, and they're not making an impact. They can, and that's where they say, hey, I'm going to go where I can make a difference.
I just want to make a note that Robin Reedy, Governor Gibbons' Chief of Staff, will be here, and I'm sure she will have a completely 180 view of this discussion. In the story,
and she'll say, it's no big deal. Perhaps.
It's all for good.
There'll be a good
My bet's on you that that's exactly what she'll say.
There may be some line that is equal to licking the stamp.
Yeah.
All right. Story in the Las Vegas Review-Journal. The headline is More Suffering Seen for the Valley. Southern Nevada's economy is submerged in the deepest recession the United States has seen since the Great Depression, and not even the most extravagant mega resort opening in the history of Las Vegas is going to pull it out. The party's over, said Mary Riddell, associate professor at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, and she says now City Center is the wild card. Some say it'll create a huge surge in demand. Others say City Center will create an economic debacle. Your thoughts on that?
Well, it's a two-edged sword. We spent an extraordinary amount of money. It was spent on this project with the hope that a lot of jobs will be created that will pull people back into the state, into the tourism economy. But really, unless the rest of the country recovers equally, we're going to have a slowdown and a continuous slowdown until jobs start coming back and people have disposable cash.
You know, Vito's right. I was on a conference call yesterday, Sam, with 50 state lobbyists for one of my clients, and every state, we gave state reports. Every state is in real big financial trouble, except for 3 or 4. And what Vito said is, I think, correct. If other states are in that kind of financial shape, and where are the tourists going to come from? Because unemployment is in record numbers all over the country. So
well, I think the dollar is helping the situation, that you're going to see an increase in international business, and I think also to an extent it's going to cannibalize some of the other properties. But the smart properties, we had Anthony Martinell III on the program recently, and he was talking about how the M Resort is putting together special packages for people who can't stay at City Center but will stay at M Resort. So I think it's the creativity of the marketing departments that are going to make the difference.
But Sam, isn't it the age-old story of the buggy whip manufacturer, where they're just trying to do, improve the model where the economy behind it is completely changed? They're going to cannibalize other properties. Southern Nevada's already cannibalizing Northern Nevada. I mean, we were in Las Vegas last week, and for $89 I can stay at the Bellagio. Who would have ever thought? And all that does is create downward pressure on everything. I think the model's broken. I think as a state we got to look to other sources of revenue to make this state a viable state, and just building it better doesn't mean that they will come.
In the past people said that Steve Wynn's properties would not work. The Mirage is never going to work. Bellagio is never going to work. Wynn's never going to work. It took $3 million a day for Wynn to work. City Center is going to require $4.5 million per day to work. And I tell you something, guys, I'm on the other side. I think it's going to work. We'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers after this timeout. As always, you can watch Nevada Newsmakers 24 hours a day at NevadaNewsmakers.com. And among the guests coming up next week, Sue Ellen Fullstone, Robin Reedy, the Chief of Staff to Governor Gibbons, and our annual Teen Edition. We'll see you on the